YieldMax just introduced another new single stock ETF. This one is called HOOY, H-O-O-Y, and it trades against Robinhood stock. This video is not financial advice, nor is it a recommendation. Please do your own due diligence before investing into anything. We'll spend some time in this video focusing on whether or not Robinhood is actually a good underlying stock for this ETF, but for those of you who don't know how these ETFs work, here's the strategy. When you invest your cash into HOOY, YieldMax puts that cash into US Treasuries and sometimes FGXXX, a mutual fund that holds cash and treasuries. Then they leverage those treasuries to sell a put contract for 1 to 6 months expiration at the money. They use the premium from that put to buy a call for the same strike, same expiration. Then they sell shorter expiration call contracts at a strike price 0 to 15% out of the money for expirations 1 month out or shorter. These shorter calls pay for the monthly distribution as well as the 0.99% expense ratio. The prospectus allows the fund managers to, at their own discretion, decide to switch from their usual strategy to a call spread strategy. This means they still sell the short calls, but they also buy another call at a higher strike price for the same expiration. This additional purchased call is meant to allow HOOY to participate in more of the gains should the share price of the underlying stock, Robinhood, surge quickly. It also acts as a hedge to offset the losses on their sold calls going into the money. Now, most of you already knew that, so let's get into whether or not Robinhood is actually a good pick for a YieldMax single stock ETF, because in reality, whether or not HOOY is going to perform relies very heavily on the underlying stock it trades against. Robinhood is a stock and crypto exchange platform available on most devices, both on mobile and on the PC. And their last year's performance, both total return and price return, has been amazing compared to the S&P 500 and even some of their competitors. Look here on the screen, it actually shows that the past year, Robinhood has had a total return of 215.9%. Now, they don't pay a dividend, so there's no difference between the total return and the price return. But Coinbase, its nearest competitor, which is also another exchange which focuses on crypto, they have actually lost 5.29%, and the S&P's total return, including the dividends paid out, has been only 10.02%. Their IV, or implied volatility, does tend to stay a bit high. It is currently at a 30th percentile IV, and the implied volatility right now is 66.42%. Another useful thing to note here is that Robinhood's graph, while it's been great, also does look quite a bit like the Bitcoin graph. It's not exact, but it is very similar. I'm going to put them here one after the other on the screen so you can look at the difference. There isn't that much of a difference, especially once Bitcoin hit over $100,000 a coin. Now, for the most important question of this video, is Robinhood the right pick for a YieldMax single stock covered call ETF? And under the old system where they didn't have any flexibility, it was just your straight up synthetic covered call. They weren't doing call spreads. Under that system, I would have said no. But because they added the call spreads to the prospectus, I think that as long as they're applying the call spreads for Robinhood, there's a chance to gain a significant amount of upside here, although it still won't be as much as just owning Robinhood shares directly. Now, as someone who's been experienced with YieldMax for a while now, I noticed that YieldMax tends to wait to launch their new ETFs until their underlying stock happens to be doing amazing, which is the worst time to get in a position that involves that particular stock. Then again, if you believe it's going to go even higher, then maybe it's not a bad play for you. What do you think? Is HOOY a buy? Why or why not? Tell us in the comment section below. If you like this video, you might also enjoy this one here on the screen. Subscribe to join the Cash Flow Club and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video.